Hi, I'm Suzy Oj, co-founder of MataKami. MataKami bridges the big data gap in rural Indonesia to deliver valuable market insights. Ultimately, the MataKami mission is to connect underserved rural communities with essential service providers, such as mobile services, internet access, access to electricity, water, and other products that they're left out of. So we use not only a Android app to do smart surveys out in these remote areas, but our secret weapon is actually putting really smart people out to lead these surveys. And so today I'd like to introduce Afifah, who leads our survey teams out in the remote areas, to share some of her experiences and insights from the market viability studies that she's done for mobile operators. Afifah?
Hi, I'm Afifah. I'm basically a field engineer. I've been performing some site survey, including to remote sites, particularly for infrastructure development, be it electrification or telecommunication or other basic infrastructure. Yeah, so what I'm find interesting with the MataKami, because it's very essential to use the apps that will support your survey to be easily done. First, I'm gonna talk about why the survey important, because although you can find some information, some data, even though it's from government statistic or other institution data, but once you do the survey, you will find all those information sometimes is not really relevant. For example, I've been to Buru Island. Is it third biggest island in Maluku? So when I went there, there is an article in a big newspaper said that there is a road connecting each regions is there. But when I went there, it turned out the road is not finished yet, so no cars can passing by the other sub-regions. So we should take boats through waterways to reach each remote village. And the others, what interesting difference that I found is when you see the statistic data, particularly the economy, for the remote area, the data would say it's very poor area, poor livelihood there. But when you went there, that's not literally what's happening. The thing is, they usually earn some money from their specific economic activities, but they don't report it. So yeah, that's what makes the survey important, because you can find the true fact on the ground. So
yeah, that's a really important point, because we really want to show that there is market viability out in remote areas. It's maybe difficult for the service providers to see that from the secondary data, like you mentioned, because there is such a lack of accurate data from those areas. And that's largely due to this gap in connectivity, where there is no mobile and no electricity, then there is no data like is available in Java and in the bigger cities.
Yeah, you're right. So this gap actually is a huge issue there, because basic infrastructure is a basic rights for basically everyone. So when it isn't provided, so the other issue can be arise because of the unavailability of the basic infrastructure itself. For example, I have an interesting story in a village. The name is Tifu. It's in Maluku. So this village is transportation hub. So the ferry usually comes there 3 days in a week, but there's no telecommunication signal there. So once there is an official from the provincial official comes, no one dared to welcome him, and then it caused the local official fire.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's one little example how the unavailability of basic infrastructure can be disaster.
Yeah, so yeah, it was interesting. Even there's no 2G signal or anything. So
Yeah.
we do a deep dive into village level and even household level data to see what type of services they have available. So what were some of the other surprises in the villages in this particular sub-district that you found related to their use of mobile phones and the lack of availability there?
Yeah, the thing is, to in Maluku or maybe some Sulawesi, smartphone is really easy to get. Not only for us living in the city, but also those who living in remote because especially the island, when the big ferry can come, bringing some stuff from the city, they can easily have smartphone. But the funny thing is there's no 3G signal, there's no internet signal. So basically they have to go to the city, the nearest city, to get some songs downloaded or film downloaded and use it without internet signal when they're home. So yeah, that's the technology is there, the community is ready for the advanced technology, but this infrastructure is not supported.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was even in the biggest city within that sub-district. There was still no data coverage or internet access, right?
Yeah,
available.
right. Yeah, that's why we need these apps, to not only to easily record the data, but it can automatically record it on the cloud. So we don't have to wait like for 2 weeks to complete the survey report, but it can be easily monitored by the one in the city. How's the survey going? So yeah, this application is really helpful in terms of collecting data, not only quantitative data but also qualitative data, because it's easily modified. You can once you do the survey and finish and you evaluate how the survey is going and what's like of the previous survey, you can easily modify the question and etc. So it will result in you're not only getting the quantitative yes or no data, but you can also explore the quantitative data with some explanation when you do some hangout with the local, to having casual conversation. They usually helpful in getting what to say on the ground facts, supporting your quantitative data. That's what I did with this MataKami apps.
Yeah, the community engagement is so important. Even though we try to be as efficient as possible in each village, it's still important to make that connection so that you can really get the insights into the community to see what's happening there and identify the types of services and technologies that could work for them and that they're eager to adopt in their particular situation. And it's a great point that you mentioned about using the learnings from each time that you and the teams go out to do the surveys, as we keep trying to make our surveys smarter. And we customize each survey, but we keep collecting all the information that could bring value to those villages when other types of service providers want to come and offer them services as well. So we're really trying to connect the villages to a variety of services. So it's so important, and that's why we try to drain your brain, and we appreciate all the videos and the photos and everything that you take. All of your observations are what can help us make our surveys even smarter, and then also to model for the future so that we can say once a village reaches these criteria for success indicators, they're ready, and so they're ready for mobile services, or they're ready for internet access, or they're ready for other types of services. So it's building that model, predictive model, that's going to be so powerful for the companies that are willing and daring to go to the rural and remote areas of Indonesia.